Thank you, Samantha. Some really exciting draw results for the men's tournament, and I'm very happy to step in now and switch the focus to conduct the draw for the women's Olympic football tournament. Now, one interesting point of difference for the women's tournament is that the senior women's teams will be representing their countries. I love this because as we lead into the FIFA Women's World Cup in 2023 and the qualifying pathways for the event, the Olympics will give us a really exciting taste of the international action that we have in store over the next few years. A very similar draw procedure as earlier applies for the women's tournament. However, for the benefit of those watching, I will now repeat the main principles. The 12 participating teams have been divided into 4 team pots according to their position in the latest FIFA Coca-Cola Women's World Ranking release from April this year. Pot 1, on my right in front of Lindsay, contains our host team, Japan, as well as the highest ranked teams, USA and Netherlands. In Pot 2, there are Sweden, Great Britain and Brazil. Pot 3 includes Canada, Australia and China. And finally, in Pot 4, we have New Zealand, Chile and Zâmbia. As the teams are drawn, they will be placed into 3 groups, E, F and G. Their positions in the groups will be determined by drawing balls from the respective group pots located in my left in front of Ryan here. We will begin the draw from pot 1 and then proceed with the other pots in ascending order. As with the men's draw, the constraint which doesn't allow 2 teams from the same confederation to be placed in the same group applies. This means that in the draw process, we might skip over groups. Lindsay, Ryan, you've had some experience with that, and so you just need to follow my guidance. Once again, Pot 1 and Group E contain red balls, which represent the national team of our hosts, Japan. Similar to the men's team, they are pre-assigned to position 1 in Group E. And we're going to kick off the draw by confirming exactly that. So Lindsay, could you please do us the honour to get us started and pick the red ball from Pot 1?
Japan.
Japan are the reigning AFC Women's Asian Cup champions, crowned in 2014 and 2018 with 1-0 victories over Australia in each final. Now, Ryan, let's confirm their position in Group E.
E1.
E1, that's correct. So we're off to a very good start, team. Lindsay, do us the honours. Let's see who comes out second from Pot 1.
Netherlands.
So the Dutch have qualified through the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup, finishing runner-up to the USA in only their second appearance in the finals. Now they're going to be in Group F, Ryan, so if you could please draw us the first ball from Group F.
F4.
Excellent. Netherlands take position F4. Final ball from Pot 1, please, Lindsay.
USA.
USA, they hold the record for tournament wins. Between August 2008 and August 2016, they won a remarkable 13 consecutive women's matches. They will be in Group G, Ryan, so let's see what position our current world champions will take.
G2.
G2. Excellent. So we're now going to move on to Pot 2, Lindsay. And just to recap, in that pot we have Sweden, Great Britain and Brazil. Let's see who comes out first.
Great Britain.
So Great Britain are competing in the tournament for the second time, having previously featured at the London 2012 edition as our host nation. So they're going into Group E. If you could draw a ball from Group E for us, please, Ryan.
E3.
E3 for Great Britain. All right, let's move on. Next ball from pot 2, please, Lindsay.
Sweden.
So alongside Brazil and USA, Sweden are one of 3 teams to appear in each edition of the Women's Olympic Football Tournament since its inaugural edition in 1996. Now, we do have a constraint here. We can't put them in the same group as the Netherlands, so we're going to move across to Group G, please, Ryan, and let's see what position they will take there.
G1.
G1 with a very tough opening match against our current world champions, the USA. One final ball from pot 2, please, Lindsay.
Brazil.
Brazil, that's correct. So Cristiane from the Brazilian team is the leading scorer in the history of the women's tournaments with 14 goals to her name, including 2 hat-tricks. Now, Brazil will be in Group F. Ryan, please do us the honours.
F2.
F2. Starting to take some shape in the groups now. Right, we're moving along to pot 3, in which we have Canada, Australia, and China. Give them a mix, Lindsay, and let's see who comes out first.
China.
So China have set an Asian record with their 6th participation in the competition. They've only missed out on 1 edition in 2012. Now, we do have a constraint with China. We can't have them in the same group as Japan. So we're going to move across to Group F, and let's see what position they'll take in that group.
F1.
F1, another very tough opening match there, China versus Brazil. Excellent. Let's see who's coming out next from pot 3.
Canada.
So Canada claimed the last 2 bronze medals. They defeated France in 2012, and then they bet the host Brazil to claim their 2nd bronze in 2016. No constraints this time, Ryan. Group E, let's see what position they take.
E2.
E2, and we now have our opening match for the Women's Olympic Football Tournament, our hosts versus Canada. One final ball from pot 3. It should be Australia. Let's confirm that.
Australia.
And indeed it is. Australia scored 21 goals in just 5 matches in their successful qualifying campaign for Tokyo 2020. Now they will be in Group G together with Sweden and USA. Let's see what position they take.
G3.
G3 for Australia. Okay, guys, we're nearly there. We're into pot 4 now, which contains New Zealand, Chile, and Zâmbia. Let's see who comes out first, Lindsay.
Chile.
So Chile will be participating for the first time in their history after defeating Cameroon in the CAF CONMEBOL playoff earlier this month. They're going to have the whole continent behind them in South America. Now they're going to be in Group E, so let's draw the final ball from Group E.
E4.
E4, that's correct. The final position in Group E, completing the group there. 2 balls left. Please do us the honours, Lindsay.
Zambia.
Zambia, another debutante. They will be participating in the Women's Olympic Football Tournament for the first time in history in Tokyo 2020. They will be in Group F, joining China, Brazil, and Netherlands. Let's take their position.
F3.
F3 is correct, the final position available in Group F. And one final ball to draw. Lindsay, please do us the honours.
New Zealand.
New Zealand will be making their 4th successive appearance in the Women's Olympic Football Tournament, having featured for the first time in 2008. And there's only one possible spot for them. Ryan, your home country, please reveal their position in Group G.
G4.
G4, so the opening match for New Zealand will be a bit of trans-Tasman rivalry there against Australia, which will be very exciting for the home fans there. Great. Now all the teams know their positions in the tournament and the challenges they must overcome to secure Olympic gold. We have just moved one giant step closer to kick-off. Let me recap the groups and the path to glory for our 12 participating teams. In Group E, playing in Sapporo, will be Japan, Canada, Great Britain, and Chile. Group F, playing in the Miyagi Stadium in Miyagi, will be China, Brazil, Zambia, and the Netherlands. And in Group G, playing in Tokyo Stadium, we have Sweden, our current world champions, USA, Australia, and New Zealand.